I'm Jessica Lynn, and you're watching Keeping It Real, Mama with Jess Lynn. Obviously, Doug, so that's my name. Anyway, today I'm going to do another lies parents tell their children, because a lot of you seem to really like that one. Alright, here's one. My mom said they only named hurricanes after girls, otherwise they would be called himmicanes. I guess that makes sense. Um, My dad told me that the rumble strips on the highway were for blind drivers. I believed him for years. I said this one before, but I think it's funny. When we went to the store, my mom used to tell me every time you touch something, a kitten dies. That's so messed up. One Christmas, my grandmother told us that smelling each other's farts would make us stronger. Worst Christmas ever for us. Funniest Christmas ever for her. What a mean grandma. That's so hilarious, though. My mom told me that drag racers were two men running down the street in women's clothing. I get it. Drag and then racers. That is funny. Here's a picture. That's hilarious. Oh, man. Oh. I told my children that if they didn't believe in Santa, that Santa wouldn't bring them any presents. My mom used to tell us that until we were older. So my cousin and my sister, they believed in Santa until they were like 14. I remember, well, they didn't really, I don't think, believed, but they used to say that they believed. My cousin Molly said that she believed in Santa until she was like 15, because she said she didn't want to stop getting presents, and that Aunt Terry told her that if she stopped believing, she wouldn't get presents anymore. So messed up. My mom, you're so mean. Uh, here's one. My dad convinced me that our last name literally translated to of Caesar, and that we were direct descendants of God, King in Rome, or rulers of Rome. Sorry. I felt like a badass until I started taking Latin in classes in middle school. Then everyone thought I was a liar. Oh, my mom got tired of my brother and me stealing her scallops, so she told us that they were dolphin balls. We instantly stopped eating her scallops. That's funny. My friend ripped open a hand warmer, and when the powder got on his hands, his parents told him that his hands would disintegrate by age 30. We looked up what disintegrate meant later that night, and he bawled hysterically while staring at his hands. That is so mean, but very funny. I've never told this bad of a lie to my kid. That's horrible. My flatmate, this must be an England one, grew up on a farm and was told by her parents that TV only worked when it rained. I think I already read that one. Whatever, who cares? Um, my dad told me, I'm sorry, my grandpa told me that there was a tube connecting my belly button to my butt, and that if I unscrewed my belly button, that my butt would fall off. Oh man, that's too funny. Living on the West Coast, my friend showed the East Coast feed of the New Year's Eve countdown to her kids so that she would have them in bed just after 9. That's a good one, though. That's a good parenting thing, because then you got those other 3 hours to, like, drink and chill or whatever and do whatever with your partner or significant other or your friends. But that's a good one. That's a really good one. Showing them the West Coast countdown because they're 3 hours behind us. That's funny. Or ahead. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Oh, no, I'm sorry. She showed the East Coast one because she lived on the West Coast. That's hilarious. Uh, my my grandma said if you wander off, the boogeyman will kill you and make a sausage out of you. the f- how come up with these? My mom told my brother and me that a penguin lived behind the fridge, and if we left the door open too long, we'd steal his cold and he'd get mad and come out and bite us. My father told me that pears were apples from outer space. Good way to get your kid to eat fruit, I guess. Well, different kinds of fruit. My father always said, if one person calls me, I'm going to flip out. My father always said that the animals on the side of the road were just taking a nap because the road was warm. I think I read that one before too. As a kid, I put a tooth in a plastic bag and slid it under my pillow for the tooth fairy. When my parents forgot to put money under my pillow, my dad said, "You shouldn't have put the tooth in the bag. The tooth fairy couldn't smell it." Oh man, some of these are like. When my daughters were little, I told them that if they burped, farted, and sneezed at the same time, they would turn inside out. That's so messed up. There are a lot of really funny ones. Oh my goodness. Ah. Alrighty. So, oh wait, you know what? So if there's any lies that you've told your parents, that you have parents have told your children, please comment them below. Let's see. Uh, when when she was small, I told my daughter that when she lied, a red spot would appear on the middle of her forehead. I knew for sure it worked when she did indeed lie, and then her hand went right up to cover her forehead. That's so mean but funny. I was told that if I swallowed my gum, my poop would bounce up and down in the toilet. I cried every time I accidentally swallowed my gum. My dad used to tell me. Oh my god. My dad used to tell me that if I ate too much candy, that I would explode. That's just mean. Oh man. Alright. We got our daughter to eat fish by calling it Argentinian chicken. That worked for a long time until Grandma came along and screwed it up. Thanks a lot, Grandma. That's funny. Oh man. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no, I clicked off of it. I've told my son some lies. I've told him that. Well, I think I told you guys all the ones that I've told him. So, I don't think I can really tell you the ones I've told him. But, sorry. I feel like an idiot just not talking. My dad told me that if I swallow chewing gum, that it would bounce up and down in the toilet. I already just said this one. Jesus Christmas. My 6-year-old niece asked me how I got pregnant. I panicked and I told her that I ate a watermelon seed. Now that's a funny one. That's funny. Uh, Sex is different than pushing something the size of a watermelon out. Something the size of a lemon. You can die while giving birth. So I told my teenager. That's messed up. Oh my god. Oh shit. Some of these are really, really freaking funny though. Let's see if we can come to more. So, let's see. I'm gonna find a lot more because there are so many. And if you, as parents, have ever told your kids some funny lies to get them to do what you want or whatever, please comment in them below. So, McDonald's. This is one that a father told his kids. McDonald's cheeseburgers always come with a bite missing. That's messed up. Uh, I told my children that it was a law that kids couldn't sit. Oh God, couldn't sit in the front seat until they were 8. I got tired of them arguing about who was going to sit in the front seat. I mean, that's a good one. Nowadays, you have to it's crazy. An 8-year-old, if they don't weigh enough, can't sit in the front seat, which I find ridiculous. Because I sat in the front seat at like 6. Uh, I told my son that the pet store was the zoo. It's so much easier and free to go visit. Got away with it for over 3 years. That's so messed up. Take your kid to the damn zoo. That was a mean one. I told my kid that the star symbol on my phone was actually a snowflake and it was a direct line to Santa to tell if they were naughty. So if they were naughty, it was a direct line to Santa and that Santa would know whether they misbehaved or not. Year round. That's a good one though. The steering wheel on the car wouldn't turn, so we had to drive right past McDonald's. That is so funny. The steering wheel on the car wouldn't turn, so they had to drive right past McDonald's. Oh man, the things kids believe though, it's funny. Um, Here's another one that the characters at Disney World went on a bathroom break, so we couldn't wait in line to see them because they take really long time to go to the bathroom. That's funny. That dad really didn't want to have to see the Disney characters, but I get it. It can be annoying. You don't get it unless you're a freaking parent. When they were younger, we told our kids that the ice cream in the big pail slash bucket is kids' ice cream. The more expensive kind, like Breyers, is adults only ice cream. That's a good one. That's a good one. Um, Plus, kids, chocolate and vanilla taste, no matter what the flavor is, they don't give a shit if it's Breyers or expensive ice cream or out of the bucket. It tastes the same to them. I told my daughter that flax seeds in her head were miniature chocolate chips. She believed it for over a year. What? I don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't even understand that. My mom told us that round bales of hay are dinosaur turds. My girls believed that the car would not start until everyone had their seatbelt fastened. That's a smart one, though. Tell your kids that the car won't start until everyone has their seatbelt fastened. Good way to get your kids to put their seatbelt on. um, my 12-year-old son decided that he was going to run away from home. I told him I was sorry to hear that. He started to pack his things, and I told him that it was against the law to take anything that he himself hadn't purchased or bought. Kind of hard to make it on your own with a collection of Britney Spears DVDs, action figures, and Matchbox cars. Why did your 12-year-old son have Britney Spears CDs? Okay, that's mean. But anyway, I thought it was funny. Well, no, I thought what I said was mean, by the way. When my kids were younger, they were under the impression that the security cameras in stores were actually Santa cams that they never misbehaved in a store. That's smart. Telling your kids that security cameras in stores like Walmart and everywhere else, grocery shopping, are Santa cameras and it'll get them to not misbehave because they want presents for Christmas. I don't know who you are, Mom, but you are smart. I'm going to tell my kid that. I'm literally going to use that lie on my child the next time we go to a store. In junior high, my son asked me, Mom, what does PMS stand for? I answered, Poor Mommy Syndrome. That's funny. I just call it Pissed at Men Syndrome. But I don't really get PMS. Anyway, my dad told me that cheese would grow hair on your chest. I was a 6-year-old girl. That dad wanted the cheese all for himself. That's so messed up. Um, let's see. When they were being naughty, I would say to them I would say that the naughty children car was coming to take them away. It worked wonders, especially if I heard police or ambulance sirens outside. Hey, I tell my kid that I tell Anthony all the time, even his father tells him that if he doesn't like behave, that we're gonna call the cops on him and that they're gonna take him to kid jail and that he's not gonna be able to eat regular food. He's gotta eat crappy food, which is true in jail. But we tell him like all this stuff that they're gonna put him in handcuffs and take him to jail and he's never gonna see his mommy and daddy for a very long time until he learns how to behave right. So all I have to do is pick up my phone and start pretending to dial 911 and he'll be like, I'll be good, I'll be good, I'll be good, I promise. So that's a good one. Um, every kid in America has to sign up to play baseball at least once. My dad told me this when I was 6. I feel like though that dad really isn't like that's not a bad lie. Like I feel like kids should have some type of activity. So that's not a bad lie. Uh you have to snap your fingers to get the traffic light to turn green. My daughter believed this until 7 when we told her the truth. That's funny. Why would you tell her the truth? God, why wouldn't you just let it keep going on? Um, when my nephew was 3 years old, he would only eat carrots. So I told him that other veggies are also a carrot, but with different colors. So he would gladly eat them all. Maybe I should try something like that. That's actually really smart. Way to go, Aunt. Like you're smart. His parents probably loved you after that too. Um, I told my son that buffalo wings come from buffaloes. That's just weird. Oh, okay, so that's it for now. But please hit the like button if you like this video, and please, please, please subscribe because you love me. No, but seriously, subscribe right now. It just anyway, I'm also gonna probably do other. Well, I'm gonna do other ones, but I'm gonna probably do another, um, lies that parents tell their children because people really like that one. And there are just so many lies out there that parents tell their children. Anyway, if you like this video, hit like and subscribe to Keeping It Real Mama with Jesslyn. Alrighty, Mama out. Peace. That didn't work very well. Mama out. Peace. Deuces. Mama out.